Just testing. Can you hear me?
Yes, we're able to hear you.
Hello, hello.
Yes, can you hear us?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let me know if I do anything wrong here. Okay, so I'll call, the time is 6:02 on July 21st, 2021, and I would like to call this meeting
I don't have any sound. I don't know why.
to order. Can you hear me okay, everybody?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
In the interest of public health and safety and the pursuant of Governor's Executive Order N 2920, members of the International Friendship Commission and staff are participating in this meeting by teleconference. In accordance with the executive order, the public may view this meeting online, but not in Civic Center Branch Library Conference Room. The city launched a virtual commenting portal, e-comment, that allows residents to comment and participate in the meeting from their own homes. You can find the link to e-comment at www.chulavistaca.gov/virtual meetings. Your comments must be received before I call for the close of the commenting period in order to be considered. After the commenting period is closed, I will announce a brief pause to allow commissioners time to read any comments that have been received. If you have any difficulty or need of assistance with e-comment during the meeting, please call 619-476-5340 and library staff will assist you. Would the secretary please call the roll?
Yes. Commissioner Akana.
Present.
All right. Commissioner Andrade, I believe, is out of town. Commissioner Fimbres is out of town. Commissioner McCabe.
Present.
All right. Commissioner Moore.
Present.
Okay. Commissioner Munoz Andrade
Present.
and Vice Chair Muraoka.
Present.
All right.
Public comments in this, so we'll move on to public comments. Public comments is the section on the agenda for members of the public to address the board on items that are not listed on the agenda. I will now call for a 2-minute pause to allow the public to submit any final public comments. Commissioners, as a reminder, please refresh the view on your screen to ensure new comments appear. The commenting period for public comments is now closed. Have the commissioners had enough time to read the submitted comments? Are there any submitted comments?
No submitted comments.
Okay. All right. So we'll move on to the consent calendar. Since there was no comments, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to get so I'm not sharing my screen. Let me get out of that. Sorry.
That's all right.
Let's see, share. Stop sharing. There we go. Sorry about that. Okay.
Okay, so the first order of business is the consent calendar. I will now call for a 2-minute pause for to allow the public to submit any final comments on items on the consent calendar. As a reminder, please refresh the view. Commissioners, as a reminder, please refresh the view on your screen to ensure new comments appear. Will staff please display the public comment and start the timer?
Is it showing up?
I don't see it yet, but are you sharing screen again now?
Okay, maybe I'm sharing the wrong thing.
Oh. I could start a timer at my end if you want.
There we go.
All right. Oh, okay.
You see it?
Yes. So, okay. There's a how do they get? How do people get in? There's a person that was trying to get in onto the comments.
Oh.
So they would go to the chulavista.gov, chulavista.ca.gov /virtual meeting. Is that correct?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then they would select the IFC meeting, or it would just automatically take them to the IFC meeting.
Should select the IFC meeting from there.
Okay. The commenting period for this item is now closed. Have the commissioners had enough time to read the submitted comments?
There were no comments submitted.
Okay. All right. Do any of the commissioners wish to pull an item for discussion, or let's say for discussion or questions? Is there? Are we supposed to vote on the?
Yeah, approving the minutes, the dated June 16th.
Okay. So would the secretary, would you please announce for the record the number of comments received in favor or and opposed of the item?
No comments received.
Okay. If there's, so I just move on. Okay. Do any of the?
We can do a vote to approve the minutes, the
Okay.
consent calendar. So I can run through and ask all the commissioners yes or no.
Sure.
Make a motion to approve the consent calendar.
There we go. And then someone needs to second it.
I'll second it if I'm able to.
Okay. All right. So we have a motion by Commissioner Akana, seconded by Vice Chair Muraoka, and then I'll run through the roll and get everyone's vote. Let's see. So Commissioner Akana,
Aye.
Commissioner McCabe? Okay. Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Munoz Andrade?
Aye.
And Vice Chair Muraoka.
Aye.
Okay.
Okay, do any of the commissioners wish to pull an item for discussion or questions? If there are any questions or if an item has been pulled from the consent calendar, announce that the items will be removed from the consent calendar or heard separately. I guess we're already beyond that one. So we're already at the motion to approve the consent calendar. Sorry about that. So got the second. My apologies. Okay. So we're on the, do the commissioners have any clarifying questions for staff before we go to public comment? Is that correct?
I think we did public comment. I think I might have put that in there when I was moving things around. So I think we can move on to the presentations.
Okay, so, all right. So moving on to presentations. We have a presentation, by Southwest Strategies Outreach Consultant to the Redistricting Commission on Chula Vista redistricting efforts.
All right, so we're welcoming
Ms.
Ms.
Villegas.
Villegas. Are you able to hear us okay?
We can't hear you.
I think you might be muted by accident here. I'm trying to unmute you.
Yes.
There we
Okay.
go.
Yes. Hi. Good afternoon.
Aye.
And I have your PowerPoint. Do you want me to put that up for you?
Oh, that would be fantastic. Yes. Thank you.
All right, so I'll share that, and then when you're ready for me to move through the slides, just go ahead and tell me to do so, and I'll be your Vanna.
Okay. Just give me 1 second. Let me adjust my screen here. Mhm. Okay, fantastic. So let's go to slide number 2. Thank you. So for those who don't know me yet, my name is Susana Villegas. I'm the president of SBPR Communications, and I'm one of the sub-consultants for Southwest Strategies. So thank you for the opportunity to discuss redistricting for the city of Chula Vista. And I would like to explain the importance of participating in the redistricting process. At slide 3, please. So with the passage of district elections by Chula Vista voters in 2012, as you know, redistricting occurs every decade following the release of census data to redraw the boundaries for the 4 census districts. So Chula Vista has appointed 7 redistricting commissioners. They will work with the public to gather feedback and present recommended maps to the City Council for what we call the final approval. During this process, it is important that our communities are present and their voices are heard to ensure that they are going to be better represented by future council members. Slide 4, please. Redistricting increases representation to voters and allows greater access to government and increases accountability. As you already know, districts are drawn to keep communities of interest together to increase their voice and impact on government decisions that will, at the same time, impact them. So ensuring that communities of interest are properly represented will improve the effectiveness of city government. Slide 5, please. So who should participate in this important process? If you have a vested interest in Chula Vista, then we invite you to participate. You need to participate because every resident, every business, community organizations, all need to participate to have their voice heard and to increase the effectiveness of this process. Slide 6, please. So the redistricting process is broken down into what we call 2 phases. The first phase will include a series of 4 workshops, one held in each city council district. During these workshops, the public will be able to present their concerns, maps, and relevant information to the commissioners. During phase 2, the public will have the opportunity to discuss the proposed maps and provide feedback. The City Council will approve the final district maps in December of 2021. Slide 7, please. And how to get involved? That's a question that everybody's asking us at this point. Let me tell you that your help is needed to spread the word to increase involvement. So we are asking you, this group, to leverage your networks and let everyone know about this the redistricting process in order to increase participation. And we have 4 already scheduled workshops. And the goal is to have as many people attend to these workshops, and those workshops are in person. However, if you're not able to participate, there are online interactive tools that can be used to provide feedback. Slide 8, please. At the same time, we are forming a big coalition of community groups to help get our community involved. We are hoping that you can commit to joining this effort by helping us reach out to your network and help us activate your membership, encouraging them to participate and helping disseminate information to your network. With that, I conclude my presentation. Are there any questions?
I have a question. So, in redistricting everything, do you foresee any big changes in the district lines, or will they? What is the proposal of what they're proposing to do in making any changes to that 2015 map?
Yes, that's a good question. And at this point, we don't know yet. There is the professional demographer who is, of course, analyzing, gathering all the data available. So that's why we want to invite all of you to come to these workshops, because that's during the first meeting. And you can attend only to 1 meeting. You don't need to go to the 4 meetings. However, if you want to attend the 4 meetings, that would be great, because some people, they like to go attend more than 1 to process the information. But yes, we are since the first workshop, we are going to know what is the proposed ideas, and we want the public to participate and bring your ideas. So right now we are on phase 1. Yeah.
Okay, so as of right now, you have no idea of how are you going to redistrict it, and the current one is done just by population, and it looks like it was done by the 805 sort of. It was. Is that correct?
Correct. Yes. So I wish I could give you a better answer, but yes, at this point, we're in the process, like I say, to gather the community, and the community will be providing their input. So that's why it's so important for the public to participate. So because this will set, maybe some changes in the city for the future. Mhm.
Okay, and so these redistricting will affect the representatives in the council, correct? Because
Yes, for future council members, yes.
okay,
Yeah.
and so but it won't necessarily affect the commissions, correct?
That's a very good question. Let me take notes, Ken, about the commissions. And I will get back to you.
Okay, but
Which
okay.
commission did you think it would affect? Commissioner Maroka? Because we serve the whole city of Chula Vista.
Yes, that's why I'm just thinking that it should the main effect would be on our representation through the council, but I don't see any why it would affect the commission. But I'm just asking the question because we're all here. So okay, is there any other questions for Ms. Villegas? No. All right, so thank you for your presentation.
Thank you, commissioners. Thank you so much for the opportunity, and I hope to see you at one of those meetings.
Okay. Yeah, I hope to be at one of those meetings.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome to stay if you like.
Oh, okay. So I'm gonna log off.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Chairman,
I believe
I have a
Mike has a
question.
You have a question?
I have a question. Yes.
Sure.
Hello. I have a question. Yes, I had a
Yes.
question for Ms. Villegas.
Sure. Sure. Well, Commissioner.
Yes, I just want to ask what the variation in the population figures are considered acceptable for each district. I need to put equal population as possible, but sometimes that is not practical because of physical boundaries or other constraints. And so what would be the allowable variation in an equal amount of population? Has that figure been determined? Is she still here? Hello?
So is there a question? So Commissioner McCabe, is your question about how the population could change on the, because you're breaking up a little bit.
The variance between, okay, I know I have trouble with my audio, but what I'm asking is, your goal is to get as equal as possible a population between each of the districts. But never have to be variation, or you're not going to make people because you might split census tracts or geographical areas or whatever. So what is the allowable variance? Could you vary by 5% or 10% in population, or is there a guideline for that?
I think what he's asking is if the population, since it may not be all equal, all the populations in each of the districts may not be equal. What percentage changes that one district might have over another district?
Yes, thank you so much, Commissioner. What I can say at this point is that the demographer will explain during the first workshop exactly where not guidelines, where is the criteria? Because for each community of interest, they will have different parameters. So I will invite you to attend the meeting, because that's when the demographer will explain how the process is going to work and the scientific basis, when they conduct this type of the projects. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you'll discuss it more at your one of your 4 meetings, or okay?
Thank
Did you have another question?
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks to you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Chairman, for helping.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you for helping my question.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll move on to 5.2, an update on our partnership with Sister City Otawada, Japan. I guess I would be the lead on that one. So I've seen a video has been completed for, well, one of the videos have been completed with on is it Venmo or not Venmo, but one of the host, Vimeo. Okay, and yeah, it looks very nice. I don't know if did you send it to all the commissioners or is it just?
I think at this point it's only been shared with the subcommittee because it's not final.
Okay, so it's a beautiful video. It doesn't cover a lot of the Chula Vista scenes, but it covers a lot of just what was established through our sister city with Odawada. So this is all in preparation for it. Did everybody receive the letter from that Mr. Samwell had included on one of his emails? CCing what was it, from Odawada?
Yeah, I sent that to everybody.
All right. Did you want to kind of
yes,
go over that right now?
Sure.
Or did you have planned to go over it a little bit further down?
I was gonna maybe for the virtual celebration video.
Okay.
But I can bring it up.
Okay, because you know, I was on there's on your letter it had 7 different ideas on there, suggestions, and so they had talked about the venue. Did you want to go over each one of those? Can we go over each one of those?
Yeah, why don't I I'm gonna share my screen so we can take a look at it as I've got it up here.
And we could kind of just maybe touch upon it and then create the subcommittee for that.
Yeah, that was in I think in the action items part, the creation of the subcommittee.
Okay.
But we can look at the letter now. So here's the first venue is or the first point was about the venue for the ceremony. Have we decided where the ceremony will be held? So my recommendation was going to be, and we can get to this in the action items part, is that we form a subcommittee specifically to do planning for this. I'd be assisting with it, and then also Adriana Hernandez from the mayor's office said that she would help out, provide input from the mayor's side. So one suggestion would be we could do it in the library, Civic Center, and the auditorium. That's a possibility, or do it somewhere at the library.
Okay. Yeah, so we'll gather up. So
Ken, Bill,
yes,
you're kind of jumping ahead on me here.
Yeah.
Let's step back onto this video that I guess you've seen regarding. I'm sorry, what was the video? And that has not been shared with the rest of the board members. Why? I'm just kind of curious. I mean, the thing you brought up earlier, you said you saw a video that's been produced.
Right, because it was the subcommittee that was working on the celebration video. So
is that going to be shared with everybody?
Yeah, it just hasn't been finalized yet. So it was
It's
shared
just
to
a
get
draft.
some feedback.
But
I'm sorry?
is the board going to get a chance to look at it and comment on it?
Oh yeah, I'm sure that we could share with the whole board. It's just that it's still in process of being created.
Oh, okay. Ken, it's not complete.
yeah, but well, they sent out an early draft earlier. Was it today or yesterday? And so I'm part of the committee, so I didn't see who was all attached onto that. So yeah, so the one video the one video kind of going over our 40-year history a little bit has been somewhat completed. It hasn't been finalized. There were some errors in there, and then I guess they were looking for comments from the people on the committee before they brought it over to the whole group. So
And this video is going to be shown. I'm sorry, I missed the meeting last week. I was out of town. this video is going to be shown in conjunction with the celebration.
Yes.
That's
Yeah,
coming
the
up.
40th anniversary.
So there's going to be a video element. There's going to be a recorded video element with this the celebration, and then there will be a live element in the celebration as well. So I think the recorded video was to kind of give a more condensed message across, and then the live will be in celebratory of our connection for the past 40 years. So
Gotcha.
this is
Okay.
for those that are participating. Those that are participants, it's to every 5 years we do have a renewal of our sister cities together, and so in the past we've met in person. We've had a delegation go from Chula Vista to Otawada, and then Odawara would visit us in the same year and exchange, and so. This year was supposed to be that year, but unfortunately, we're unable to do that.
This is the video that the communications office was assisting with.
Sure.
Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember that. Okay.
So it hasn't been finalized yet. It's been the reason that it hasn't been shared out is just because it's not done yet. So I would imagine a good place to share it would be if it's ready to be shared before it's completely finalized and shown at the November event. We could have it shown maybe at the next IFC meeting. Or before that, we could send it out for people to see.
So that's my question, Bill. So the subcommittee is going to finalize it, and then the rest of the board just gets a look at it, or do we get a chance to comment on it as well?
Well, the way the subcommittees are supposed to work is they're supposed to do the work and then bring it back to the larger commission to make the final decision on things.
Okay, all right. So you use the word final. I didn't quite follow you because I got the impression that you're saying it's going to be finalized and then it's shown to us, as opposed to letting the rest of the board get a preview of it and have an opportunity to comment on it.
Yeah, I can reach out to our communications office and see if that's something, if it's ready to share to get more input, because they haven't gotten to a point that it's been completed. There's still some changes that need to be made.
And I believe they also want to add in
still needs to be tweaked.
What was that, Commissioner Akana?
I saw it this morning. It still needs to be tweaked. But it was just the first time around, so I don't want to waste the commission's time to keep showing over all these little edits. But when the subcommittee, thinks it looks good, we'll ask you guys to approve it.
Okay, so this isn't the end of it. So Commissioner Moore will be moving forward.
That's the terminology that's hanging me up a little bit. So once you guys have approved it, once you guys have finalized it, you are going to then show it to the board for approval. So what you're saying is you're not soliciting input for any kind of edits to it from the board members at large.
Not at this.
Is that the interpretation? Is that interpretation correct or incorrect?
I believe that interpretation is correct, but you can make any changes after, I guess, the subcommittee feels that that they're feel good about it. So if there's any changes beyond that, I think that would be acceptable as well. Is that correct, Commissioner Akana?
I think that was why we created the subcommittee, but my thought was that we were going to create it because there's so many details that we had to work on. I had to reach out to prior host families and ambassadors. And then Olga and Jason are working on it now. We're just finalizing it before we show it to you for approval.
Okay, but if it's not approved, then they will be able to make some changes to it.
I hope time. Well, it's until November, so we need time for Olga and Jason to tweak it.
Okay, so if there's any problems with it, then we could make some changes before November. Does that answer your question, Commissioner Moore?
I think so. Okay, sure.
And if you want to be included on that, would it be? I think would it be okay to add on Commissioner Moore onto that?
I think Commissioner Gallardo has stepped down. We have one more spot open on the virtual celebration video subcommittee.
Okay, so if you want to hop on there, you're welcome to hop on there, Commissioner Moore.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, I'd love to see it and comment on it, and participate in some way. I mean, I did offer up to, I could get access, footage and information regarding pretty easily what's going on down at the Bayfront and some of those imagery from there. If that's something, I don't know if that was included or not included, or whether we want to include it, but it certainly is. I know you're talking about the history here, but there's not going to be anything present in it regarding the future.
I think, I don't know if we're out of order for the agenda, but I'm going to say it really quickly. That was going to be one of my comments. Odawara said that they were going to show charming spots of Odawara. Charming, that's how they phrased it. So I think that was my only recommendation for us to show more highlights of Chula Vista.
Okay. So we could talk about that if you want to. We'll talk about it on the part in the virtual celebration at 5.5 a little bit more, if that's okay. Okay. Right. So as far as I guess we could just move on. Well, before we get to 5.5, we'll just kind of briefly go through what Mr. Sandwald has on the screen right now. Just so then, if you want to join the committee for the celebration, that's what we're trying to set up for. These are the things that the items that Odawada would like to have addressed or have considered. So like the venue for the ceremony, a chat time. I'm not sure how well that will go over because unless we have individual rooms, the platform for the ceremony. If we're going to be is the WebEx, because they brought up the point that they're in a whole other country, so they might not have the same how everything works over there may not work exactly over here. So we'll have to test compatibility on that one. The exchange video is what we kind of gone over just right now. But my question on that will be, I'll add that on 5.5. If we're going to add on another video for the future, like what Commissioner Moore had mentioned and what Commissioner Akana will kind of allude to later on. So, okay, so moving up, there's a cheers. I think that will be pretty easy. One of the things that kind of got me was the Souvenir Exchange. We'll probably have to ask Commissioner Akana on suggestions on that, perhaps. I know that in Japan, they're very much of a gift-oriented culture in which they have places that just do kind of gifts in order to, for these kinds of things. I don't think on the U.S. side we are necessarily set up for gifts in the same manner. So that's something that I think we would have to consider. I don't know if the commission would want to do something more custom, or if you would want to do something that's already made. So that's something to consider for whatever committee, the subcommittee that's going to decide on that one. And then the attendees, those familiar. I guess who's going to attend? Is that correct?
Yeah, it's like who we would invite on our end.
Yes, and so that will kind of match up to if we do these breakout rooms or that other part. Okay, so consider those commissioners if you want to join the subcommittee for the virtual celebration. Okay, all right. Another update that I have for Japan, for Odawada, was on the other side. I had been kind of talking to some of the people over for our counterparts in Odawada, and they had kind of briefly gone over. I had sent over some of the suggestions that we had gone over for what we could turn our exchange, or what our current exchange is. We have 4 of our younger people in younger Chula Vista citizens from between 18 and 23. They will visit to Japan, and then for 2 weeks, and then from Japan they bring back, and they stay with families, host families over there, and then they come back over to. They bring back with them the Japanese representatives, or the Japanese young ambassadors in the same age group, and they stay with the host families over here in Chula Vista. So we're kind of in the process of trying to change that or kind of fix it up a little bit. So I had talked to them, and I will email the our subcommittee, our Odawada subcommittee, and try to slice it down a little bit, because that's what they had asked. Because some of the suggestions that were sent are a little bit more challenging, especially for people who work. Because I think we had several weeks in which they would have to be here. They wanted to kind of work through those things. And so I will be sending out an email this week, this coming week, about what they're to kind of maybe redefine, kind of breakthrough of what is really possible on revamping this exchange. Okay, so that's all I have. Did anybody else have anything from Otawada?
Can you clarify who's on that subcommittee for Odawara, since we've had some people leave?
So I believe it's Commissioner Moore, and the other person escapes me.
Is it Commissioner McCabe?
No.
No. For Odawara?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Fimbres, but yeah, he's not here this evening.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so if there's no other questions, then we'll go ahead and move on to 5.3. So there's no other questions. All right, so we'll move on to 5.3, partnership with the Cebu in the Philippines. So,
Okay. I could give an update.
Okay.
So Commissioner McCabe, Commissioner Gallardo, and I collected a lot of items, and we put it all in totes, school items, necessary, things like toothpaste, toothbrush, school supplies, and sweets. But we wanted to send this off to continue this relationship we have with Cebu, and they are so excited about it. We finally sent off the package July 1st through LBC. It had to go through LA and then to Cebu. And because of COVID, it will take about 76 days to get there.
Wow.
Yes, it's really hard. And
Wow.
they are really excited, and they understand that it usually takes 45 days. I asked former Chair Gallardo to make sure she continues one more correspondence with them. We gave them the tracking number to LBC, and to make sure that they continue the correspondence with Bill and me. So we'll update you when they receive it, and I'm excited. They will be giving these totes to underprivileged schools or orphanages. And that, to me, this shows how much we care for what they're going through now, as a city, from the city of Chula Vista to them.
Okay.
Oh, and then, so Bill, did you send the reimbursement checks to Gallardo and Mia?
Yeah, everything I just heard from our finance office this Monday. So things are in process. So let me know if you don't get something sooner than later.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Okay. Any questions for Commissioner Akana?
I just got a shout out. I just want to thank her and former Chairperson Gallardo for all their effort and work. That's wonderful.
Were you able to see the pictures that Bill shared?
I did not receive anything. Sorry.
Hmm.
Oh, I take that back. I think I may have seen one. It was on the table. We're sitting on a table.
Well, we were standing up. That's how big the pile was.
Anyway, I just want to give you a shout out and say thank you very much for your effort.
Thank you.
Yeah. Has there been any correspondence, other kind of correspondence, or I guess we'll have to wait for 76 days in order to find out any correspondence from the recipients?
I'm tracking it too. I'm tracking that package too.
Okay.
I didn't even know they had these things that goes on the ship and goes over the ocean. But this is what they chose to use because they are legitimate, and it will be safe and secure to get there. Other couriers, they might get stolen or lost.
Okay. Well, it'll be nice to when they receive it. It'll be nice to hopefully get some pictures from their side of the recipients are enjoying their packages, or they're enjoying their gifts.
Oh, they plan to put it in their newspapers.
Okay.
We will get acknowledged in the city of Chula Vista.
Yeah, thank you for that. And so, do you need another? Well, we don't have a replacement for Chairman Gallardo yet, so we'll have to. You're one short on your committee then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so and I'm glad you're staying. You're staying for another year, Commissioner Akana.
That's surprising to me.
All right. Okay. So, if there's no other questions for Commissioner Akana, we'll move on over to Arapato. Is there an update on Arapato? This is our sister city in Mexico. Anybody? Okay. And then, so now we're back down to 5.5, our virtual celebration.
And just a quick note from me, I've already emailed our communications office just to suggest that maybe we just send the video out to the, everybody on the commission. And one of the things we just need to be careful with is, like, if you notice when I send out emails, they're always to me and everybody's blind copied. It's because we have to avoid Brown Act violations, and we can't have discussions happening over email with the whole commission, which is why we can do it with the smaller subcommittees, because it's not violating the Brown Act. But I think that's actually a great idea, to just get more input and get some more thoughts on that. And it really wasn't anything more than, I think, just no one even thought of that, because the subcommittee had been working so hard on the video with the communications office. But I think that's a great point, Commissioner Moore. So I've already sent an email off to our commission, or to our communications office, to recommend that.
Thank you, Bill.
Hey, on the update of the virtual celebration video, I mean, we can make requests on our side. I know there were seven requests from Japan, but on our side, if we want to request that we put in, we add on another 7-minute video about the future, or what the state of the city is in terms of how the city of Chula Vista is changing. Because I think initially when we had talked about these videos, we had, correct me if I'm wrong, Commissioner Akana, but I thought we were thinking maybe 2 different videos as well back then, originally, because one was going to be more of the city and one of them was going to be more concentrated on this direct celebration.
I think we wanted to keep it short because Odawara wanted to keep it short. But
yeah.
You notice that during the speeches from Mayor Salas and Chair Gallardo, that while they're speaking, they could have voiceovers and show, future stuff of Chula Vista, if they could do that in communications.
Well, I think that would be a little bit hard because you're communicating. I think if you're showing, future things on there, your subtitles on each of those areas may distract from it. So I would maybe suggest possibly having a video of different things with subtitles on there, with no speaking on there, just kind of guiding through it, so that they could run it behind the scenes as a kind of a video of what's happening in Chula Vista, and kind of describing some of the different things that are happening, perhaps. And it wouldn't necessarily affect everything overall, but maybe they could share it among themselves. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Okay, well, I know Commissioner Moore had suggested a few other things to be added in there. So maybe we'll talk to the communications people about possibilities, and maybe we could talk to Odawara on possibilities of expanding it, because I think their video is going to be about 5 to 7 minutes. I think they said as well.
Yeah,
correct.
So Ken, how long is the draft right now?
Under 7 minutes.
It's under 7. Okay.
It's under.
I can't comment because I haven't seen it, so I don't know.
Yeah, but there's a lot of talking in there. There's a lot of description. So they have different people that are being interviewed, or are giving their thoughts on the overall.
They give the testimonies. The students give the testimonies, the heartfelt testimonies of how the program changed their lives.
Yes, and I thought that those were very, very valid and very important to hear. So.
And my apologies just on my end. If I had been thinking a little more I would have just invited our communications liaison, Olga, to actually be here and show the video this evening, because I think that's just a great suggestion to allow everyone to see it and provide comments. So I'm sorry I didn't have the forethought to do that.
It's understandable, Bill. No worry.
No worries.
Don't worry.
All right. Okay. So any other, did we want to talk any more about the video celebration?
I think a good next step would be just to get input from everybody. So I don't see any reason why we wouldn't be able to do that. So I'll circle back with Olga from communications and just make sure you know, it's in a state that it can be shared out for some input, and then maybe we can just say, hey, you know, after you view it by X date, you know, provide your input and suggestions, and that would help to you know, make some improvements to it before it's put into any type of final state.
Okay. And then, and since we're on the subject right now, can we set up a subcommittee for the celebration itself at this point, or
Let's
do we have
put that into the or wait until that's up in the action items, because I think we need to do a pause after these presentations, the 2 minutes.
Okay. All right. Okay. The next item on the agenda is item number 5, presentations. Let me just.
Yeah. So we'll do the 2 minute pause for public comments.
Okay. So does staff have any comments they'd like to make before we go to public comments and deliberation? Do the committee members have any questions for staff? No, I will now call for a 2-minute pause to allow the public to submit any final comments on items before commission deliberation. Commissioners, as a reminder, please refresh the view on your screen to ensure comments appear. Thank you. So would the items, any comments would appear on the chat, or would it appear someplace else?
They appear on the virtual like the virtual comments page.
Okay. Oh, well. All right. The commenting period for this item is now closed. Have the commissioners had enough time to read the submitted comments? Were there any submitted comments?
No comments submitted via email or on the website.
Okay. Do any of the commissioners have any comments or questions? Okay, if not, then we'll move on to the action items. So one of the next action item is 6.1, election of the fiscal year 2022 chair and vice chair. Okay, so we need to well, our chair Gallardo is no longer on the commission anymore. So we also need, so we need to elect a new chair and vice chair.
And you can nominate others and or nominate yourself.
I nominate Morioka for chair.
I second that.
Okay.
Are there any other nominations for chair?
Okay, so we need to have nominations. Are we going to close those nominations then?
And then vice chair?
I nominate NEPA.
I would like to nominate Commissioner Akana for vice chair.
Yes.
I'll second that.
Any
Can I
other?
ask a generic, generic question?
Mm-hmm.
How many board members do we have now?
We have 7. So there'll be 2 more that will be filled once applications come in for that.
So there's 7 active now, and you're looking to fill 2 more?
Yeah, there's 9 that so we have two vacancies because Commissioner Duran and Chair Gallardo both didn't continue after their terms expired.
I see. Okay.
So for myself, I see this is just a side comment that we've lost a lot of experience over the past from the past couple of years because we haven't had this exchange program in the past couple of years, and so I think myself and Commissioner Akana are the only 2 that have been around for those exchanges. Is that correct?
Well, I was there for
So
one of the exchanges, the one in 2019.
Okay. All right. So Commissioner McCabe knows all the work that goes into it as well. Okay. All right. Did we close up close the?
Were there any other before we just to make sure? Is anyone else interested in nominating anybody or nominating themselves? All right, then I guess we can move on to voting. So we'll do chair and then the vice chair because we had Commissioner Akana had nominated, and then was it Commissioner Moore? You seconded that?
Correct.
Okay. So I'll run through the list for chair. Would be Commissioner Muraoka. So let's start with Commissioner Akana. Yes or no?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Commissioner McCabe.
Aye.
Okay. Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
Commissioner Munoz Andrade.
Aye.
And Vice Chair Muraoka.
Aye.
Okay. All right. For vice chair, we had Commissioner McCabe had nominated Commissioner Akana, and Vice Chair Muraoka, or now Chair Muraoka, had seconded that. So let me run through. We've got Commissioner Akana.
Aye.
All right. Commissioner McCabe.
Aye.
Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
Commissioner Munoz Andrade.
Aye.
And Chair Muraoka.
Aye.
All right.
All right.
Before we go to the next item, I was curious to ask Alejandro a question. I know a lot about the Irapuato. It was discussed that a lot of things were going to happen as a result of the elections down there. Has anything kind of changed, or did they go as expected? New regime? What did transpire with the elections?
Well, everything changed in Mexico with the new party that came in with the new president of Mexico. And basically, all of the new mayors and governors and people that were elected on this past election are going to take office as of September, the last week of September.
Oh, okay.
So right now,
it's a real
basically,
lame duck period right now.
yeah, between vacation and transition, it's like everybody's going backward.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
I do have a message I'll share from Commissioner Fimbres. He said that he's aware that a virtual meeting between Mayor Salas and Mayor-elect Alfaro of Irapuato will happen soon, and they're in the process of finalizing the details for that.
Yep.
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic.
Oh, okay. Yeah, thank you, Commissioner Moore, for bringing that up and addressing that. That's good information there. Thank you. All right, let's see, where are we at now? The establishment of a subcommittee to lead the. Okay, well, okay, so 6.2. We'll move on to 6.2. Establishment of subcommittee to lead planning of the 40th anniversary virtual celebration with Odawada, Japan. So can we just get the recommended action is to establish a subcommittee to lead planning and coordination of the 40th anniversary virtual celebration with Odawada, Japan. The next item, okay. Does have a presentation?
I was just going to recommend, I don't know if we want it just to be, the folks who are already on the Odawara subcommittee doing it, or if we wanted, other folks who are interested in doing it. This would be to help with leading the planning, because we need to really kind of get moving on that, since it's going to be happening in November. And if we're going to be exchanging gifts or beverages or anything like that, that needs to probably happen ASAP. But as with any subcommittee, what would happen is, they would do a lot of the work, and then each month come back and present to the larger commission and get that input and everything there. But the subcommittee would kind of be taking the lead on the planning.
Okay. Now, is there going to be a problem with the subcommittee since we only have 7 members right now? Is there going to be a problem with the Browns Act because the ratio of who can meet and who can't meet?
As long as we don't have a quorum, so it would have to be 3 would be the max.
Okay. So when we have a full 9, then we could have up to 4. Then is that what you're saying?
Correct.
Okay. All right. So right now, who's on the subcommittee for the video? Is it myself, Commissioner McCabe, and Commissioner Akana?
And then the subcommittee, the general subcommittee for Odawara is Chair Muraoka, Commissioner Moore, and Commissioner Fimbres.
Commissioner McCabe's on Cebu.
Yeah.
I'm with Cebu, yes.
So Moore, Fimbres, and Muraoka are on the subcommittee for Odawara.
Okay. So
we need 3 folks to kind of take the lead on this.
Ken, I got to tell you, man, I can't even plan a party at my house. I'm not sure I'm the right guy for this job. That's my wife's job.
I think whoever's interested, I mean, we should just see how many people are interested to start with, and then from there we can narrow it down and vote on it.
I don't mind, but I'll participate if no one else would.
Yeah, I don't mind doing it as well, participating as well. So that's 2. Anybody else from the gallery out there? Okay. So
no, not Commissioner Munoz Andrade.
All right. Can you send out an email? So as of right now, we have our 2.
And then we can see if either Commissioner Andrade or Commissioner Fimbres are interested.
Yes.
Okay. And Commissioner McCabe, were you interested or no?
Can't hear him.
Right now, no.
Not right now. Okay. All right. So we'll start with Chair Muraoka and Vice Chair Akana as the subcommittee for that.
Well, can I ask you a question, Gail, first? Do you,
Yes.
when I was looking at the letter from Odawara, they said attendees. did you ever find that list of past people that were associated with the
I did not find
secret?
any list. I have a very limited file folder that I've gone through of anything to do with IFC, and there's nothing in there.
Oh, it's on a thumb drive.
Oh yeah, and this I've inquired about the thumb drive, and no one has been able to locate this, unfortunately.
Oh, okay. It was. I don't think it was a formal thumb drive. It was just. And then
Okay.
my other question, because it's a timely thing before the subcommittee meets, is gifts. In the past, every time I see someone from Odawara, it doesn't matter if it's a student or a representative, they will give each commissioner a gift. They give the mayors a gift. It's just something cultural. So I think if we think of something that's in our budget to give them, and this is a new mayor we're dealing with. We used to have Mayor Kato, and he's always received our usual gifts like seeds candy, or sometimes we give him items that are Hispanic culturally foods that they could eat or use there. So if you could think of things that we could give that represent Chula Vista, but we need to mail it to them and then they open it up during the celebration.
And I'm sorry, did you say you typically give gifts that are more of Hispanic?
Yeah, because they, in the past, what were the things they've given, Commissioner Muraoka? Like hot salsa, or hot sauce, and they would give all these other things, Mexican candy.
Well, that sounds wonderful, because I went to Tokyo in 2006, and I was craving a burrito. We found an El Torito, and let's just say it was not the burrito I was used to.
Yes, they love Mexican food. They always, when they come here, they want to have a taco, carne taco. But we would give things to Mayor Kato, and he's always received them every year. But now we have a new mayor to impress and to build that relationship with, so we could repeat gifts to him.
Okay, so
got his name.
So in the process of this, and to try to expedite these, because we're in these kind of rules right now, can we have you send out before the next meeting? Can we send out like suggestions to bring up at the next meeting? So kind of a so what we could try to Commissioner Akana and I will kind of come up with a gift list and maybe a guest list and some of these other items. And then ask, and then you could send it out to all the commissioners, and then we could vote on it at the next meeting. Because we can't discuss it online, correct? We can't discuss it via email. We have to just
it has to happen so the public can make comments.
Okay, so so we'll go ahead and do that. We'll figure out how we're going to go and give up some gifts, and then if any, so be aware of that, commissioners. We'll go and send out those information. And and then you guys are going to have to brainstorm. And since we can't have another meeting since we won't meet until next month, I'd like to start moving on this, because if we wait every so long and we wait, we push everything down the line, then we're going to eventually hit the end of the line. So we'll work on that moving forward. Okay.
And there's an organization that always works with us. They're called Friends of Odawara. So it would be nice to have them as part of the attendees. If they're still.
Well, that's something else to discuss on that one. So we'll have to figure that one out. Okay. All right. I'll talk to you about that one, Commissioner Akana, because they've been pretty disactive for the past couple of years, 3 years. So, okay. All right, so we'll move on to where are we at? So do we have to do a deliberation on this?
Yeah, I think we need to do a 2-minute pause before we move into the final segment.
Okay, so I will now call for a 2-minute pause to allow public to submit any final comments on the items before the commission deliberation. Commissioners, as a reminder, please refresh your view on your screen to ensure new comments appear. Will staff please display the public comments and start the timer? Oh, I don't see the timer on the screen. So are you keeping track?
Oh, it's not showing? Yeah, let me try it again. We're about a minute in.
Did we lose you, Bill? Because I see.
Am I not showing here?
Yeah, you have this little yellow triangle up in your upper left-hand corner of your screen.
All right.
Low bandwidth, local computer conditions, such and such.
You can still hear me?
We can still hear you.
I'm afraid to do anything with the program because I'm afraid that it's going to stop the recording.
Oh, okay. Well, just let us know when the 2 minutes are up.
All right, we've hit 2 minutes.
Okay, I will now call for. Oh, sorry. The commenting period for this item has now closed. Have the commissioners had enough time to read the submitted comments? Have there been any submitted comments?
No comments submitted online or via email.
Okay. All right. Do any commissioners have any comments or questions? Nope. And so I guess we do a roll call vote on whether on the commit. Do we need to do a roll call vote? I mean, the action items were just the.
Well, we established the chair and the vice chair and the subcommittee.
Okay, we took a vote on the vice chair and the vice chair, correct?
So we can do the vote for the subcommittee.
So
I'll run,
change
I'll
it
run
after
through the list here.
Okay.
So the subcommittee would be Commissioner Muraoka and Commissioner Akana. I will reach out to Commissioner Andrade and Commissioner Fimbres to ask if either of them are interested. So just to vote on that, Commissioner Akana.
Aye.
Commissioner McCabe.
So, aye.
Okay. Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
Commissioner Munoz Andrade.
Aye.
And Commissioner Chair Muraoka.
Aye.
All right. Yeah, sorry I've lost it.
I think he got disconnected completely.
Oh, yeah, I think he got dropped off. All right, so we'll wait a minute before he
Well, the top.
re-engages everybody. All right. So, well, I think he's going to have to reestablish the the recording. Well, it does say that it's being recorded over here, I think. All right, are you back, Bill?
I think so.
Okay, can we continue, or do you have to set up anything for recording? Because it looks like it's
showing it is still recording. Thank goodness.
Okay.
So I'm, yeah. Let's see.
Okay, so
It's not letting me start my video, but as long as you can hear me, I think we're okay.
all right, that is fine. Okay, so now we're moving into other business. Is that correct there?
Yes.
All right, other business. We'll start off with item number 7, staff comments.
So the first thing I wanted to say is starting next month, we will be returning to in-person meetings. So that will be good. I think that'll make it a lot easier for us. We'll be meeting here at the Civic Center Library, which is where the meetings were taking place in the past. Before she ended her term, the way that this was decided was I was told to talk to the chair, determine if it was more beneficial to return to in-person meetings. Chair Gallardo and I had a discussion via email about this. She felt that it would be to the benefit of the commission to return to in-person meetings, which we'd be doing in October anyway if we didn't want to, whether we like it or not. So we just determined that beginning in October, or excuse me, beginning in August, we would start in person again. So I will make sure that information is included when I send out the agenda next month. The other thing I was just going to say is thanks for being patient with all of these weird tech hiccups that are happening tonight. I have got my fingers and my toes crossed that everything is recording as it should and I can get it uploaded. So I know Commissioner Munoz Andrade, you mentioned you had a little bit of trouble getting in at the beginning, so not sure what's going on, but we're almost to the end, so I've got my fingers crossed that we make it. And other than that, just wanted to thank everybody for just being patient as I'm still, each month, I think getting a little more comfortable, but still learning new things every month with how this works. And I think the commission is always just so kind and so gracious and so patient with me. So thank you all for always being that way. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. You've been doing a great job, Bill. We really appreciate all your help and all you put in there, and trying to cut through making these meetings longer. So we appreciate it. Okay, so we'll move on to. Does anybody have any questions for Bill? If not, then I'll start on my comments. I had a question, Bill. On did we talk about the Spain sister city last meeting?
We did, and I've provided all the information to the mayor's office. And yeah, it was the last meeting that was the discussion.
Okay. So has there been any update on that, or has there been anybody? I know there was a person that was very that had made different comments on there and was really pushing for that, and we found out that there was a group in Chula Vista from Spain, and so do we need to look into that a little bit more, or did you find out anything from the mayor's office by chance?
I don't have any updates to share other than, the mayor's office is aware, and in my communication with the mayor's office and when she joined our meeting, I think before we add any new sister cities, really wanted to see how things go with the 3 we have. But, it's really up to the commission to determine if it's something that we want to pursue at this time or if it's something to pause on. And, if there's things aren't working out with one of the sister cities, or the commission feels that you can take on more moving forward with it.
Okay. One of the things I liked about the Spain situation was that they do have a group that's that can support, push forward an idea for that. So I know when the Friends of Odawara were much more active, I think it helped out the commission a lot. And can you confirm that, Commissioner Akana?
What was that?
That having a outside group in support of the sister city also helps out the commission, as in what the Friends of Otawada has done in the past.
Yes, definitely.
So it would be nice. I don't know how we would be able to do this, but if we were able to get outside groups to help out with Irapuato and for Cebu, I think that would also move things forward because, but we'll talk about that at another time. All right.
But Ken, what is the Spanish group you're referring to?
At the last meeting, the person that was, I guess, proposing to have a sister city in Spain, they had brought up that there's a Spanish group in Chula Vista that meets regularly. I think there was about 20 people involved in that group, and so that's the group that was suggesting us to have a sister city in Spain.
Oh, okay.
So okay, but I'm glad we're moving forward on moving along with our sister city in Odawada. I appreciate all the hard work that the commissioners have done doing the video and Commissioner Akana getting all the videos from our from the past few host families and young ambassadors. So thank you for that. And it's great that we're going to meet in person. I think that will save us some time as well. But yes. So that's all of the comments that I have. Can we move on to any questions for myself? If not, then we'll move on over to the commissioner's comments. Item number 9. Any of the commissioners have any comments?
At this
No?
time.
Not at this time. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, everybody, for attending. So, if there's no other comments or any questions, anything from you, Bill, before I call this a meeting?
Just really looking forward to meeting everybody in person next month. It's going to be great.
Okay. Yeah. It'll be a lot of people will be first time meeting in person for myself as well. We have quite a few new commissioners. So yeah. Look forward to next month's meeting, which will be on August 18th at 6 p.m. at the F Street Library. So it is 7:22, and I'm adjourning this meeting to our regular meeting next month.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ken. Thanks, everybody.
everyone.
All right.
Thank
Have a
you.
nice
There.
evening.
Take care. Thank you.